Game change different now, got the cheat code. Lot of y'all just watching, you ain't got the cheat code. Can't stay the same, yeah, you gotta switch it up. Can't stay the same, yeah, you gotta switch it up. Game change different now, got the cheat code. Lot of y'all just watching, you ain't got the cheat code. Can't stay the same, yeah, you gotta switch it up. Can't stay the same, yeah, you gotta switch it up. Switch it up, it's a remix when you change the style. Everybody try to surf the wave, but they wiping out. Won't you just stick to your style till it is right now? If you don't stick to your style, it won't be right now. Don't worry about what next, yeah. I'm a beast on it, yeah. You stuck on the internet, yeah. I'm coming in and out. They study my groove, they watching my vibe, they watching my cool, yeah. Game change different now, got the cheat code. Lot of y'all just watching, you ain't got the cheat code. Can't stay the same, yeah, you gotta switch it up. Can't stay the same, yeah, you gotta switch it up. Game change different now, got the cheat code. Lot of y'all just watching, you ain't got the cheat code. Can't stay the same, yeah, you gotta switch it up. Can't stay the same, yeah, had to switch it up, had to switch it up. They thought they knew who I was. Put on the gloves, I start fighting in the rain. Now we up and we stuck. You running out of love, you running out of love, and I could give it to you, everything. Hydroplane in the rain, no I won't complain. Stay in my own lane. Got my crown on, you know I'm king. Game change different now, got the cheat code. Lot of y'all just watching, you ain't got the cheat code. Can't stay the same, yeah, you gotta switch it up. Can't stay the same, yeah, you gotta switch it up. Game change different now, got the cheat code. Lot of y'all just watching, you ain't got the cheat code. Can't stay the same, yeah, you gotta switch it up. Can't stay the same, yeah, you gotta switch it up. Yeah, 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 yeah. 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 Jump up out the back cage, jump up in the pool. Real soon we'll see who's who. Just in all black, just jump on the coupe. And my bank need a roof, and my bank need a bank, and my house don't need a yacht. I done jumped up out the coupe, jumped up out that bitch, no roof. Jumped up out that bitch like woof, big dog. I'm on campus, big God. I'm on campus, big God. In the Hamptons, how you flex on me? Bitch, you don't know, I don't know how to do the flexing. Yeah, this is just like resin. Put them in the torture rack. Yeah, yeah, we betting. Yeah, we in the war, spiritual war, and who you bet against? Please don't bet against me, nigga. Don't you know I'm a veteran? Hit on one time, let him drop to the floor. You need some medicine. Yeah, he needed surgery. That boy talking etc. Why don't you just start talking that noise? Boy, you did it up. Yeah, you owe a lot of money to us, and now you scared of us. We don't do no gangster now. Yeah, we just do the light. Yeah, we just do the right. Yeah, we just take that flight. Going all day or night. Yeah, look me in my eye. Let him know you hypnotized. Let him know you got them Yo, it's your boy Awesome as JL, aka the biggest music artist in the metaverse. And you are now tuning into a new episode of Beast on Air, episode 5, season 2, featuring our guest Fondu. And 4042 is wild because that rhyme. Like, I'm not trying to draw bars and nothing like that, but that rhymes, definitely rhymes. But we are here with my guy Fondu. 4042 said he'll be late. He'll a little late to the show, but we got Fondu here. Fondu, thanks so much for pulling up to the show on such short notice. We really appreciate you. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the people and let them know what it is you do.
Yeah, thanks for having me. So I'm Fondu. I'm a singer-songwriter, originally from South Florida, like Hollywood, Fort Lauderdale. Been in Colorado for like the last 7 years. And I played music my whole life. I was in the band in school. I taught myself guitar senior year, started writing songs, had an original band, like 3 different cover bands. And none of it really went anywhere. When I moved out to Colorado, I played a couple shows and, kind of got boxed out of the area I was in trying to play live. And so I took a break. I took like 6 years off, and 8 months ago, I found Twitter Spaces and found a whole world of music there, and yeah, I've been kind of playing ever since, and yeah, that's me.
Oh, I forgot I was
there.
muted.
We go. I was like, dang, I can't hear him.
It's so crazy. Sometimes, man, I be on Twitter so much, man, I forget the whole control scheme is totally different. But yo, shout out to everybody pulling up to the show. We really appreciate y'all pulling up. We are simulcast. We're over on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Well, X, X.
Oh yeah.
Gotta call it X now. But yeah, shout out to everybody pulling up to the show. Shout out to Wifey in the building. She said, yo, what's good? So, oh yeah, so this is your first time coming to the show. So, which would it be your first time coming to the show? We like to do this thing that we like to call a heartbreaker. So you got to give your top 5 music artists of all time, any genre, doesn't matter.
Oh, God.
So, I like to put people on the spot. That's why I call it a heartbreaker. It's like, what? Any genre? What? What am I going to say? So.
I mean, that's fine. No matter what, I'm going to break lots of hearts with this. So it'll be fine. I like a lot of music. So I'd have to go. Oh man. So I gotta go RX Bandits. They were one of the first bands that I ever resonated with. So RX Bandits, John Mayer, Eminem. Who else we got? 5. 311. It's hard, man. It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard. That's hard.
And I guess I lean in like a Jack Johnson. Like Jack Johnson, I kind of grew up playing a lot of his stuff.
Okay. Solid five. Solid five. We really appreciate you giving us your top five. Now, now we're gonna, take a little time to dive into your story, man, and who you are as an artist. You mentioned that, you took a little time off the scene in the IRL scene.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing probably oversaturation, right? Or
I mean, so actually, really, what ended up making it all kind of go off was the original band that I was in. We had our best show that we had ever had up to this point, and my drummer and bassist quit on us like that next
Mm.
morning. Like they literally no warning, no nothing, just call us up like, "Hey, yeah, we're not playing anymore. Like we're done." Um, and so like that was really what set it kind of in a weird direction. I kind of like fumbled around trying to find other people who were as committed to what it takes. I mean, anybody who's an artist in any of these spaces, in any web 2, web 3, it doesn't matter. Like it takes work, like it takes time, it takes dedication to get good enough to be recognized. And I just wasn't, all the people I was surrounded with that were that dedicated, they were all into their own things. So it was like I was kind of like off on an island. And then coming to Colorado, living in Vail, it wasn't that it was like oversaturated. It's just that the venues were happy with the same artists playing the same songs every night of the year. They were not interested in trying out new people. They had their people they wanted. And I would get the old like, oh, just go play an open mic, and we'll hire you if we find you there. And I'm like, oh, I've been doing this for like 18 years. Like I know that game. Like, nah.
Yeah, man, that circuit of open micing, man, is like treacherous, bro. It's like it's such a like downhill battle of, man. It's like after a while, you start doing open mics, you start looking around like, okay, why am I doing this again? Like, so what's the point of this?
Exactly. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna plug my phone in. It's
Oh yeah, you're fine.
but yeah, that so it's like they basically wanted me to go. There we go. They basically wanted me to go backwards, and I wasn't going to do that. And so I moved on to some other things for.
Yeah, like kind of hung up music for a little bit, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would still play once a year. We have a river trip we go on every year in South Florida in Memorial Weekend. And like I was one of two people who knew how to play the guitar and could sing. And so I just kind of like got defaulted into the campfire musician.
Mm-hmm.
But that was it. Other than that, I wasn't really playing.
That's cool. It's kind of crazy, man, because it's actually wild because we actually have a lot of guests that come here that have kind of like a similar story. Kind of like, they were doing music, and they were really, really going at it. And then they just kind of pulled back from it, mainly because they wasn't really seeing any, excuse me, they weren't really seeing any progression, like as far as where they wanted to be. And web 2, my experience with web 2, yeah, man, web 2 is definitely, it's set up in such a way where it's like, first of all, like a lot of people don't know that there are a lot of successful musicians that aren't like mainstream or not this big publicized act, you know what I mean? And not signed to a big label with a big machine to push them, right? It's a lot of people making a living, off being music artists and not breaking their neck trying to do it either, just like being them, playing their music, their sets, whenever they, need to and doing their thing, So we not really, I feel like a lot of music artists that kind of have that big dream of being a big artist kind of overlook all the people who are making a living from it, and kind of think in one type of vein, on one perspective, one-sided. So yeah, man, web 2 is like that. Now what I want to ask you, right? What is your difference? So first of all, how did you find web 3 music? I know you got a crazy story with that one.
Yeah, I mean, so the night started out not even in a music space at all. So like I was in like a degenerate NFT like just hangout space. This guy named Elmo, and I don't know, he's semi-popular around the parts, but you know, he's just he has a good time and pretends to be an adult Elmo, and it's hilarious. So that space rubs because he forgets to charge his phone, and I had happened to follow a couple people in there, and one of them, this guy Lope, he opened up a space right after, and at this point, I was like 2 or 3 whiskeys deep. And I was just like, no, I'm not ready to go to bed. Like, you know, I need to find something to do. And this, I was still very new to spaces. I think I had probably only spoken on a space one time up to this point. So I get in here, it's just this guy, 2 other people, and all of a sudden I hear this guy playing piano live over the Twitter space. And it just blew me away because that was the first time I'd heard anything, you know, I had heard recorded music before, and I figured like, oh, they're just using an interface, they're just plugging something in and playing it. Like, that's not really the same as performing live. And so I had to go up on the space and talk to this guy Whale. And I was like, dude, are you really playing this live right now? And that's when they taught me about like wide spectrum on the iPhone. And of course, now I'm asking all these questions. So they're like, hey, do you like play music or something? Do you make music? And I'm like, well, not in a long time, but yeah. And I played a couple of songs for them. And what really hooked me in to like dive into what everybody was doing on here was this guy Whale, like heard a couple songs and like chimed in and was like, dude, he's like, your music cannot die inside your house. He said, you can't let that happen. He's like, I get it. We've all been there, but like, you can't let this music die inside your house. And so after that, I started like getting, the guy Lope was like, hey, come to this music space. Hey, come meet Violetta. Hey, come meet Chantel. Hey, come. And so I just started getting dipped into all these communities really fast. And I'm a pretty quick learner. So I just watched and observed and, you know, and then just started diving in head first.
That's dope. That's definitely dope. Now, with you jumping into the space that quickly and kind of, you know, getting to know people, how was that? Was that experience anything like you've ever experienced before, like previously with music?
Not to this degree, you know, like, so I had definitely always had people in my life that said, oh, your music is so good. Oh, I love it. Oh, like it moved me this way, that way. I never took it super seriously back then, though, because it was a lot of people that I had known almost my whole life. So like I grew up in South Florida. So a lot of the people that I was running into at the shows, I had gone to school with at times. And so like, it's hard sometimes for me to like trust that they're not just gassing me up. And so it was like, I remember it was that moment, that first time I played on Spaces, and then the first interview I did with NFT Alk Radio. And the responses I got, like, that was the moment where I was like, you know, I was like, if these guys were just gassing me up, like they would already broke this already. You know, we're weeks in now, like they would already been like, haha, fooled you, just kidding, you know. But it never happened. You know, I just kept getting these like DMs that were just like, dude, this song is so amazing and this. And so, yeah, it's never to this degree, like never at all to this degree.
That's dope, man. That's super dope. I love it. I love to hear it. Love to see it. Yo, shout out to everybody tuning in to the show. Make sure you like, retweet, repost, subscribe, do all of those things, you know, because we everywhere tonight. Yeah. So let's talk about, you know, once you kind of integrated into the space, you got to know people. Let's talk about your thought process when it came to you releasing music on the blockchain, right? Now, the reason why I'm asking you this is because number one, I want to see your story, but number two, I want to see your ideology when it comes to releasing a music NFT, right? Because I noticed that there's several approaches, you know, when it comes to different artists. I see some artists, you know, they would like to, you know, sit back and they would like to create and think about a formula, you know, for a longer period of time and then implement it, right? And the other type, I guess, would be kind of, you know, learn as you go, kind of figure things out. So share with us your thought process with you releasing music on the blockchain and you know, what route you chose to take.
Yeah. I'm very traditionally a learn as you go person. In my whole life, I learned the hard way in everything. I've been in so many situations where I was like, oh, this person was right, and I just had to learn it this way though. Like I just had to do it. When it came to the blockchain, I'd say I was a little more willing to kind of like learn more up front. So I spent like 7, 8 months before I even considered dropping anything. Like I had tons of music. I've been writing songs for so long at this point that like I've got tons of great music. But I wasn't really certain what the right answer was, right? Like everybody has their site, their launch pad they use, or oh, you got to do your own contract, you got to do all this. And so like I kind of took all the information in and made the decision that my first 3 releases were going to be, relatively spread out, right? Like not back to back, but not too far apart either. And I was going to do these 3 acoustic releases to give people kind of like the evolved version of me, because I have an EP out from forever ago that I don't promote. That band's been gone, so like it's still out there. You can still find it, but I wanted people to have something new, so I knew I was going to have to drop something. I also am not a person. I'm not very comfortable asking people to spend money on me. It's like a weird feeling. I'd rather sometimes like live a little more on the broke side than ever like ask for that. And even with this, where you're trading something, right? They're not just giving you the money, you're not just asking them for money, but it's a very fine line for me, because I know the kind of financial situations I've been in where like it's made worse when people are just like, oh man, can you help me out? Can you go pick this up? So it took me a little bit to get over that. And I think like ultimately I landed with dropping my first 3 on sound for like simplicity's sake. It was so easy to get in. It was very inexpensive gas. I mean, now the gas is even free for the creators. But so it's like they made it so painless for me to drop that even though there's maybe a few things down the road that I won't be as in line with, right now, getting something on the blockchain that was me right now in this moment, in this period of my life, was really important. So I just kind of tried to take the simplest path, but also the one that I felt like would lead, like you said, lead the direction that I want to go. Because I do have a relatively calculated idea of where I want to go, but I also, things don't always go as you plan. So sometimes you got to be able to play off the chest too.
I agree. So you had a, balanced game plan, but, at the same time, you wanted to make sure you execute and give people enough music to where, they got enough to listen to for right now, as opposed to them, digging in the crates, with your older band, so that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Yo, shout out to everybody tuning into the show. You are now tuning in to Beast on Air, episode 5, season 2. Featuring Fondu and 4042. I'm guessing 4042 will probably be in here in like 12, 13 more minutes. But yes, it has been a pleasure chopping it up with Fondu. So Fondu, the next question I want to ask you, right? I want to ask you about let's talk about the because we just talked about your strategy, with your releases, right? What plans do you have for the future? Like, where do you see this thing going now that jumped in this driver's seat of you jumped in the driver's seat in this Web3 music momentum, and now you have momentum, right? I was in the space with you earlier, and I think yesterday and the day before, and everybody's like, Fondu, man, Fondu, we love you, man. Like it's truly like a hero's moment, you know what I mean? And everybody's like rallying you on, you know what I mean? And they love your sound, they love what you're doing. Yeah, so talk more about where you see yourself headed, as far as your music and some of the, some of the plans that you have.
Yeah. So right now it's crazy to be at this point, right? So I'm actually only at my second drop right now. My first drop was very focused on building the biggest initial community that I could without a huge supply, right? So like it was more of like a percentage thing. I didn't want to put up a collection where everybody could max mint like 10 or 15 or something ridiculous. And then like I've got like what, 5 or 10 people who are really a part of it potentially, maybe a few more, a few less. I was more of the mind that I was like, ideally, I'd like to have 100 people buy 100 NFTs. Like I'd like to start at 100. But I also know that like part of this market is creating the ability for people to eventually, profit without exiting, right? Like we can't deny that there's people who get in and they want to make some money off the deal too. So I kind of like I limited that drop to 3. I ended up building 75 community members in that first drop. This second drop is live. Well, it'll go live for public on Sunday. Right now it's just pre-sale for the Brown Eyes holders. My goal now with these next 2 is to continue to build this community. I want to have, I'd say, ideally by the end of it, I want to have at least 200 community members that are a part of what I'm doing by that point. Because all as this is going on, I've been starting to put together the plans for an album. I'm from an era where albums are still cool, and these days albums aren't really that cool. But I think that as people have become so disconnected from the artist, albums are really going to make a comeback, because I think especially with the way Web3 is, the way the Twitter spaces are, like you have such this like tight knit connection with so many people that you've never met in real life. Like I think albums are only going to strengthen that bond with the communities. So I've been already in the works of that. I mean, like I said, I have a lot of music written. A lot of it needs to be recorded and produced. So that's what I'm kind of in the middle of now. And then like, I mean, the broad kind of long-term goal is if I could tour for half of the year, and even if I was playing mostly in front of holders and things like that, but tour around the country and provide that value for these people that believed in me, I already know that I will pick up steam just by being out there. Like I've been playing for a long, like you said, every space right now is, they're all stoked to hear me. And it's been like that for a while. So like, I need to make sure that I do my side of that, which is getting out into public. Twitter spaces are awesome, but like, I mean, I don't know, you might be able to make a living, maybe, I guess, only playing on digital means, but I feel like we still have, this non-digital life out here. So it's still nice to get to go to a show, interact with the people, actually be there present, get to feel the show. It's very different when you're watching it over a screen. And yeah, I mean, I've got plans for a relatively complicated collection for the album. And I've been just observing, right? Like I tell people all the time, you learn a lot from just observing, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't. And like, yeah, it's going to be different from person to person too, but you can get a general idea of things that like 100% will work and 100% will not work. You just have to pay attention. So yeah, I mean, I haven't really released anything yet on purpose, because it's like, I want to make sure everything is very well thought through. And I want to make sure that the execution is in a way that really benefits everybody, especially the people who collected these first 3, because I'm also a really like loyal person. And so I'm like, if you are part of this, like you're going to be main stage for all this other stuff, because like without these first 3 drops, there's just no way I would have been able to continue going forward. Like I'm not young, and I can't be scraping by. It's like you get to a point in your life, you gotta make a real living, and that's different for everybody. But there's also like a general consensus on what you need to survive, and I'm more of like, I just need what I need to survive. That's it.
Yeah, man, that's definitely a elephant in the room, when it comes to music artists. And shout out to Violetta. She spoke about that today in the space, and she was, kind of making people aware. It's like, hey guys, we're all in here having fun, right? And we're in here all day, but don't forget to like buy the artist's music. Like it's like that's a vital part. You know what I mean? We're not just in here, even though it is fun, it's fun to get with the homies and get with the homegirls, you know what I mean, and be in the space. But at the same time, like
Buy the music.
we they gotta buy the music, gotta support the artists,
Cop the drops.
Or otherwise we have to shut this thing down, you know what I mean, and hang it up for a while.
People don't realize how many hours go into being on Spaces all day, and how many hours go into like, okay, well, I'm also a musician. I got to create, I got to write, I got to record, I got to produce, it also all has to move forward. So I think sometimes people underestimate the amount of time and energy that takes, but I feel like Web3 is making it a lot more transparent, because like after a while, if you're showing up to Spaces and you're like, oh my God, this person's doing this all day, every day. Like,
it's crazy. Yeah. What y'all talking about right now? I had that realization too. I was like, bruh, it's just not feasible. It doesn't seem like it's feasible to be in all day. You know what I mean? Like he said, Fondu said, you gotta make time to create. You know what I mean? It's like you really gotta. That's the most valuable asset, right? Out of all things, is time. Time allocated. Where you put the time at? You know what I'm saying? That I feel like plays a major part in your trajectory with whatever you're doing. So it's cool to be in the Spaces. You know what I'm saying? It's dope. You get to share what you're doing with people. You like directly there. You get direct feedback. I think that's like the most special thing about Spaces. But I still feel like it's got to be it needs to be more like I'm trying to think of the word, but just pretty much makes more sense for you, like in terms of balance. Let's say balance. There needs to be a balance.
Yeah, I agree. It definitely needs to be a balance. But we got our homie, as you can see, we got the homie Bad Fox 4042 in the building. What's good with you, 42? Go ahead and introduce yourself and let the people know who you are and what it is you do.
Yeah, what's good? What's good, everybody? First off, appreciate you. Awesome for having me on. What up, Fondu? This the Beast on Air. I'm not sure how many episodes we in, but yeah, me, man, I'm a laid back guy, just foxing things out, making this music over here on this end. Been releasing a few. I've had probably like, I want to say like maybe like 3 or 4 drops in the Web3 realm. In terms of mints, been making music for at least almost a decade. Recording and writing songs. Found this space, and then saw a lot of potential in it in terms of what it could do in terms of revolutionizing the earnings for an artist, and just like the power for an artist in general when it comes to putting their music out and having control over it. So I think it still has a ways to go. I like where it's at so far. Decent. It's decent so far. You know what I'm saying? It's everything has its journey. Just like we have our individual journey, we got the collective journey. So, but yeah, that's me though. Artist, songwriter, recording artist, and yeah, man, and we here.
Yup. That's 4042. He in the building. Yo, shout out to everybody who pulling up to the show. Make sure you like, retweet, repost, subscribe, do all of that. Yeah, so we got 4042 in the building. 4042, yeah, I would actually like to expand on some of the stuff, that you just talked about. Because I feel like right now what's happening in the space, because I feel like everybody, I feel like all the music artists kind of going through it a little bit as far as like trying to figure out their like how to ride the wave of what's going on with Web3 music. I feel like Web3 music is in this it's in a tricky space. I feel like it's in a tricky space where it's like, okay, you could do this for a living, but at the same time, if you're not making the correct steps, you can't do it for a living. You see what I'm saying? So and I definitely agree with you with what you were saying, like finding that balance. And yo, shout out to Nessie. Nessie has definitely been talking his shit on Twitter lately. He been going off like Nessie he came into space. He went off then too. And he was just really putting his foot down with people wasting his time, right? As an artist, right? And as a music artist. And he was saying like he just been, going through the ringer as a music artist, and people just kind of like, I guess I get and I kind of went through it a couple times too as well. I feel like for some reason, and it ain't only in Web3, but we speaking about Web3 right now. I feel like certain projects, and certain protocols, just the whole space, it's almost like they're trying to they're not valuing the artist, right? And I'm not just talking about music
You know
artists.
that been the case, bro. Like,
Yeah.
if you really pay attention, bro, like from what this like birthed as, like when I'm saying the space and what it was being put out to be, it's been going through shifts and transitions. Like, I mean, one, you got all these people that's just transitioning from the traditional mind state of things in general. If we just gonna stick on the subject of music, like not a lot of people buy music, like in general. Like people used to streaming at this point. So they just like, oh, I pay a subscription, I stream, whatever. They're not thinking about the artist getting paid and none of that. So it's like, but then you have some fans who people are like actual fans of an artist, and they support what they do. So I feel like in this space is no different. Like you just gotta find those people. But how do you find those people? You gotta drop and you gotta be in the space. So I don't think everybody's going. I feel like the masses of people that even are in this space are that same way. You know what I'm saying? The masses of people who don't buy music, they stream. You know what I'm saying? And then the artist's supposed to get paid on the back end, but we know how that go. With the streaming royalties and stuff, you're not really seeing much unless you're doing just crazy numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta do Drake numbers or something like that to really eat off of streams. And so it's like I'm not even really like I was getting kind of beat up about it at first, but then I had to like, reflect and actually look at like what I've done so far. And I just was like, one day I was just like, yo, to be honest, like I've made more money in Web3 than I've made streaming my music for however many years I've had releasing stuff over and over on platforms for, Spotify, Apple Music, all that shit. Bro, I'm grateful of this space, yo. Like for real. Like I don't care if 5 people buy when I drop something. I mean, of course, I would like to sell more. The more, of course, the better for you as an artist. But it's like I could those 5 people buy at a certain price, and I'm already at a ways ahead of what I'm gonna be seeing quarterly from the streaming platform. So I feel like it's a building process. It's no different than Web2, IRL, music, traditions is like that. That don't just shift, man. People can say, "Oh, we this, we community, we that, whatever," but the mind, bro. I know you know this. Like the mind, bro. That takes time to shift when it comes to new models and new ways of thinking, like and new approaches.
But that's
Yeah.
why, I mean, that's why people like us, though, who are here right now are going to benefit the most, though, right? Like it's the willingness to stick it out while things aren't perfect, right? Like even the shift over, it's not perfect, but it's definitely like you just described. Everything about the Web2 model is favoring all of the artists who it was put in place to favor, right? Like it wasn't put in place to find new artists. It was put in place to push out the music that the labels already owned, basically, where they're just like, no,
Facts.
this is what we need the money from, so this is what's going to be heard. But that's what's so great about Web3, and it is like starting over, right? Like you're rebuilding a fan base. Call it fan base, community, fan club, whatever you want to call it. You're rebuilding that from scratch, basically, because not, like you said, not everybody knows what they're doing in all this. Not everybody wants to pay for music, but like you can get value even from people that don't want to pay for your music, that want to support you here, right? Like our music gets in front of people because either we put it in front of them or somebody else did. And so if you can
Facts.
get groups of people that are willing to at least do that, I would argue that that's just as valuable as them buying your music from something else, because you never
For
know who
sure.
they're going to get it in front of.
I agree. I agree. I definitely feel like there's a lot of potential as far as that too when it comes to the distribution side of your music. Cause like ever since like in recent years, I don't know, we can say over the last 5 to 10 years, I'm gonna still consider that kind of recent, but however you want got all the indie wave coming, and people doing their own distribution with the tune cores and CD Baby and DistroKid and all this stuff, and people handling their publishing with ASCAP and all that. And so like that transition into that, it kind of I guess it made people start to look at how they approach music differently in general. So now we transitioning into this space where we go to make a drop, and now you can go into spaces and be like, yo, I just dropped this track, and well, however many people, maybe 80 people, 50 people, whatever, 100 people sometimes. And that's like an immediate, like, interaction with your music. And that's one of the things I think is dope about the space, and that has a lot of potential. And I've been seeing that from the jump. I was even looking at it with like the discords and everything, like the different projects and stuff. Each project has its own community, and I was like, man, this is almost like me and Awesome. We did it with it was a couple other people on the track too, but we did it. I called it the Discord tour. We called it the Discord tour, and we went to a bunch of different Discords. And we played the song, on the Discord stage and everything. And because I look at Discords as like each one is like their own city or something. You know what I'm saying? It's like you go in there and it's like its own population of people interacting and whatever, whatever. And so I was like, yo, that's why I called it a tour. Cause I was like, it seems like it's like we going to different cities, but it's digital. I like it, man, and I'm really excited about. I'm gonna wrap it up, but I'm really excited about the metaverse aspect, and the whole like gaming and once all that ties in, I feel like it's gonna be to a whole nother level. Like definitely.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Yo, shout out to everybody tuning into the show. You're now tuning in to Beast on Air, episode 5, season 2. We got Fondu and 42 in the building. Yeah, man. So we down in the trenches, man. We talking about this Web3 movement. We talking about this Web3 music community building, all of that, man. We talking about all of it. Another thing I see for the space too that's kind of evolving is, I feel like there was a talk about utility for a minute, right? And which I feel like, that should be optional always. But I am starting to see projects, music projects coming into the space that's based around creating utility for music artists. And I thought that was pretty dope, right? I actually had a couple reach out to me, and what they're basically saying is like, hey, you got a following. You know what? We got this is utility. We can set this up for you so that your supporters can, have different events just for them specifically. You know what I mean? So I'm starting to see a little more of that too as well.
Yeah, that's dope. That's always gonna be a plus. You feel me? Like I was one of the people from the jump, like bro, like music is the utility, bro. Like chill, like don't to people like pushing it, like yo, you need to drop with this. It's gotta have this. Now that's dope. Don't get me wrong. It's like I said, that's a big plus. Person mentioned stuff and it come with this, but then it started to create people like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and sometimes it's like, all right, but is that valuable to a person? Like people, it's something to add to it, but value, what's value to a person? You know what I'm saying? And most of the time that's financial for in the spaces. People want some type of gain from it. Like, that's what the average person is concerned with. you know, and you got some people who appreciate the sentimental value things, whether it's like a visual behind the scenes thing and all that. But those are like your genuine supporters or fans or whatever you want to call people who are rocking with you. But I think, man, like, bro, in general, it's like, yo, we mint tracks on the blockchain. You got the track now. Now it's like, all right, because for example, all right, I use DistroKid for distribution, right? And DistroKid says when you distribute it's like a add-on, right? And I think I forget what it's called, legacy something or something like that. You pay an extra fee to make sure your song is never taken down. But say a person doesn't do that, right? And then, you know, say it's a song you really like, and when the person stops paying and they just like, fuck music, I'm done, I'm out of here, I'm not doing it, then eventually that song come down. The difference between this space and that is like, you got the track, you got the track, you know what I mean? Like, it's similar to like if you bought the CD but in a digital from a digital standpoint, you know what I'm saying? And then sometimes you guys like the track is downloadable, so people do different things like, oh, you can put it on videos or whatever, or you could save it on your computer, whatever you want to do. But it's buying music. It's trying to bring back. I feel like that CD, that vinyl, that you know what I'm saying, that collectible aspect of you buying and holding ownership over the rights to play and whatever the music whenever you want. And I think that's like the biggest like issue in terms of like people getting on board, because like I said earlier, people just used to just streaming. Like at this point, a lot of people, especially like as younger generations, and it continues and the model stays the same with web 2, and they grow up like with Spotify, Apple Music and stuff like that. They didn't maybe see the times or experience the time with the CDs and stuff like that. And but yeah, utility is definitely I think it's dope, man. Like I want to do stuff where it's like I add value, whether it's like actual events and or physical products and stuff like for sure. But gotta make money to get to that point. Like, you feel me? Need money to put in the stuff, or to make moves to grow things. So shout out to the people that's rocking with the Web3 music and NFTs and everything right now. And from a base standpoint, just like I like to support artists.
Yeah, man, I definitely agree, man. I feel like another elephant in the room that people are not talking about is like overhead costs, man. You know what I'm saying? Overhead costs, right? If an artist go make a song and then they go mint the song, right? And they expect them to kind of take the earnings from that song to put it back into something to give back to them. But it's like, what do you mean? Like, I still got to live too. Like, what do you mean?
I don't think that's what most collectors are looking for, though. Like
Yeah.
I think utility wise, you can build value that doesn't cost you dollars. And like we look at Violetta. Violetta is like a prime example of like being able to offer utility that her holders really care about, which I think actually probably a majority of people would care about if you really asked them. But she's got some things where like, yeah, it costs money, but she was able to generate a lot of money from her collection, so she was able to make that kind of work. But her weekly Zoom concert that she does for her holders, that doesn't cost her money other than maybe the Zoom subscription. That like doesn't cost her a ton of money. But you talk to the holders and they come out of those shows and they're like, oh my God, this week was so good. That's the utility that I think most holders would want out of music. I don't think it has to be all frills and giveaways and cash and this and that. Like, I think we trick ourselves into thinking it needs to be something like that.
True. That's like the sentimental thing I was talking about, like the sentimental value, the experience. It's still creating the experience. I think that's why I agree with you on that standpoint. Is like she's creating an experience for the people who did buy her NFTs and for them to be engaged with. So I agree. That is at least to me in my mind, that's value.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely value. Definitely value. We definitely can agree on that. So look, let's go ahead and dive into some music, from both artists. So I do got Come Proper pulled up by 42. Man, your SEO game strong. I typed in Come Proper on YouTube. It popped right up
Let's
first.
go, bro. I've been on that shit for a minute with names, everything, bro. Like I type stuff in. I'm like, is this coming up? What's coming up when I type this in? Nothing coming up. All right, bet we already claim that. You know what I mean? And I'm still learning about SEO, as far as websites and stuff go. But yeah, man, for sure.
Yeah, that's very important. Yeah, you snapped on that one because you got number 1 rank. And as far as Fondu, how will we be facilitating your song tonight? Will you play something live or?
I mean, yeah, I'm happy to play live. That's fine. If you want to play something, I'd say there's a track on my SoundCloud that would be good, and then my Drop Brown Eyes you can play straight from Sound XYZ too. But like I said, I'm happy to play live. This is the beauty of being a guitarist and a singer.
Yeah, and then we got you on video too, man. So
yeah, that's fine. I can play live.
Okay, cool. You gonna see this chopped up all over the internet. You don't Fondu live. So look, we're gonna go ahead and get into Come Proper. I got this pulled up, and then we're gonna get into the live performance by Fondu. So let's get it. So let me pull up Come Proper. After they bombard me with these commercials on YouTube, they always hating.
Yeah, we gotta throw them in there. Add revenue. But yeah, this gonna be that joint Come Proper, featuring the homie S Dizzle, produced by 2 Ellie. Recent joint we just dropped. It's out on all the streams. It's also minting on Cardano for 10 ADA. You know what I'm saying? I had a mints going, and now we putting it on all the streams. So just so the music can be out there, you feel me? So we can start to branch this out, because that was always the goal, to spread it out and bring these people back and have them questioning like what's going on in Web3 with the music.
Exactly. Them the vibes. I'm rocking with it. So look, we got Come Proper pulled up. All right. So this that new, you know what I'm saying? From Bad Fox 4042 featuring S Dizzle. Let's get into it. This is Come Proper. Let's go. Oh yeah, produced by 2 Illy. Shout out 2 Illy.
Come proper, open lockers, switch up the style, top move, I got you. Everything green, if it need to be clean, I'ma wipe it down, I'ma give it that clean. Mind on the mission, grind ignition, combined ambition, define that vision. And that's what we call alchemy, help you see more just like a balcony. Panoramic views, beat the muse, NBC life, I don't watch the news. Out here on the go, I don't plan to lose. Get the hell out the kitchen, you can't stand the fumes, I can't stand the heat. I move down the street, feel swag and I feel a beat. That's life right there, put it on repeat. Out here in stone and you can't delete. I know that it's written, I'm getting whatever I put in, whatever I'm cooking, I'm putting my foot in. I cast out the line and I fish with the hook in. They see it, they want it, requested, they looking. They coming correct and I'm booking. Created the man out the music I'm pushing. Hit them with jams and leave them like damn. You come up like bam when them chances are tookin'. Come proper, open lockers, switch up the style, top move, I got you. Everything green, if it need to be clean, I'ma wipe it down and I'ma give it that clean. Mind on the mission, grind ignition, combined ambition, define that vision. And that's what we call alchemy. Help you see more just like a balcony.
Me a crib alchemist, no full metal. I'm one in the top 10, I ain't never settled. Hard fork off the greed just to work up on my creed. Come back and I can kill me another devil. Come proper, open lockers. Break a bitch back now, ooh, I'm Papa. She just wanna get down with the genre. She said you look purse, I said, ooh, you're Fanta. It's Sri Lanka, you look so good, excuse me, she I'm from the heart. I'm misunderstood, part of my drip is part of the juice. If you wanna get it to crack and we start to get loose in, come through in. She'll bolt for the nut like a loose end. I just screw in, it's all gang. Respect what I'm doing, it's part of the movement and not an illusion. Come proper, open lockers. Break a bitch back, a real line of chakras. Hoes gonna be hoes, baby, that's the mantra. When I say get messy, I ain't talking Barca, but she from Nevada, so she got confused. When I pulled it out, that's what she got seduced. She see my soldiers march, she would then salute. Then I watch her go down like a laundry shoe. Yeah, come proper, open lockers. Ever since then, I've been on my job, yeah. Fuck do you mean? I'ma have to keep it clean, I'ma wipe it down and I'ma give it that. Love divide that mission, mine on a mission. I'm ambitious, cause I'm that nigga. That's what we call alchemy. Have you seen more just like a balcony?
Come proper, open lockers, switch up the style, top move, I got you. Everything green, if it need to be clean, I'ma wipe it down, I'ma give it that clean. Mind on a mission, grind ignition, combined ambition, define that vision. And that's what we call alchemy. Help you see more just like a balcony.
All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That come proper. Yeah, man. That track, you know, I know homie Grego. I just want to say a quick thing. Like that track, man, like I just feel like it's just got a different swing, sound wise, production. I
Oh,
don't know, it's just the feel of it is different. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we was like, man, we're gonna go ahead and push this out as a single. Just been, you know, running the track, working the track right now, trying to get it to as many ears as possible. And yeah, man. Hope y'all rock with that. You know, you can find it on everything. Like I said, just type in Come Proper 4042. And you know, it should pop straight up.
and also, you know, if y'all like what y'all been hearing from 4042 and Fondu, feel free to go down to the description. I do have both of their both of their links in the bio, so y'all just go down to the description. So I got all their latest links down there, so y'all go ahead and check it out. You can check out Come Proper and everything else, you know, they got going on. Also, I would like to take this time out to shout out the sponsor of the show, which is Project Newm. Major shout out to Project Newm. Project Newm is a Web3 music marketplace, right? And they got a lot rolling out right now. As of late, they got upgrades coming to the music marketplace. They're also rolling out a whole new feature set on the website too as well. If you want to find out more about that, go ahead and go down below to the description, read about Project Newm, and then also, if you're interested, you can go ahead and click the link to their website and check out everything they got going on. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into this live performance by Fondu. Let's get it.
There we go. All right. So yes, I'm gonna play the song that I got on sound right now. It'll go live Sunday for public. It's a song about like that moment when you wake up from a dream and you're not 100% certain if you're awake or not, because like the dream felt so real that like you wake up and you're kind of in that mid state. It's called Silhouette. I'd been talking, you were standing over my left shoulder, lower down, with a whisper in my ego, climbing between your thighs. You said hello, good night. Sorry, but don't think you're gonna take me home tonight. Just in time, you reappear. Close my eyes, pinch my arm and show you there. Dance till 3, paint a picture of the day we met. In my mind, my sweet silhouette. Catching rays, chase the wind as it blows by, awake to my reflection in design. Set my breath across your neck, trickle down your spine. Hello, how are you, dear? I think you're gonna take me home tonight. Just in time, you reappear. Close my eyes, pinch my arm and show you there. Dance till 3, paint a picture of the day we met. In my mind, my silhouette keeps drifting softly through the holes of broken glass, sinking too deep, created our disguises. We wore them proudly, our sun is setting. Just in time, lost my just in time, you reappear. Lost my eyes, pinch my arm and show you there. Dance till 3, paint a picture of the day we met. In my mind, my sweet silhouette.
That was crazy.
Let's go, man. That was
crazy.
fire.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That feel was powerful, man. Like the way the vocals hit, you know, them chords and everything, bro. That shit was dope. I definitely want to be able to hear that again. Is that already out?
So the listening party will be on Sunday, and I'll be hosting a space where I'll definitely play it leading into that, and then like public drop will go, and then it'll be playable.
That's a bet. What up, Lord? I see Lord down there showing love. Lord the homie. That's big up, Lord, man.
Man, shout out Lord P. He's always the first one showing in the chat, the last one to leave. Yo, Lord, I'll tell you now, Lord P like it, he gonna go buy it. That's just how Lord P rock, man. He rock like that. But yo, Lord P said that acoustic pop. You know what I'm saying? So Lord P said, is that 4042? What's up?
Sir, we here, Lord.
Lord out here, man. Shout out Lord P. Man, shout out Fondu. That was an amazing performance. It was fire, man. And yeah, feel free, definitely gotta give us that link to the show, man. So we can pull up to the Twitter space.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. You said Sunday, right?
Yeah, Sunday. It'll be like 3:45 Eastern. I'll start it, but 4:20 Eastern is when it drops officially.
Okay, cool. So yeah, we'll be there. Well, I'll definitely be there. 42 will be there if he could too.
Yeah, I'm pulling up.
Okay, cool. Yo, shout out the homie S Dizzle in the building. He said,
Dizzle. How been here, Dizzle? Where you at, bro?
Yo, shout out Dizzle. That was the feature artist on the track with 4042 called Come Proper. You know what I'm saying? He came proper. You know what I'm saying? They both came proper on the track.
Crazy on that joint, bro. Bro, I always deliver. He not going to disappoint, man.
Yeah, definitely. You know the vibes. But yo, with that being said, we an hour and 3 minutes in. Yeah, I know we a little over. So look, before we get out of here, you know, I want to see if you guys got some shout outs. Shout out to shout out Dizzle again too. He said, much love, G. I'm at work, man. LOL. You know, Dizzle be on that West Coast time, man. When you 3 hours behind, man, bro, it's just a whole nother lifestyle, bro. He said, appreciate the love. Okay. Shout out Dizzle in the building. So Fondu, before we get out of here, my guy, do you have any shout outs?
Man, I mean, shout out to everybody who's in my community. Go pick up your free claim, because everybody who minted that first drop, there's still lots of people who didn't pick it up, and I know those are going to be the first ones I hear from after it closes. No, I mean, shout out to you. I didn't expect to be doing this today, so even though it was short notice, I had a great time, man. Appreciate you having me.
Definitely, fam. You know the vibes, man. Yeah. We out here building in the Web3 music community. You know, we need as many arms and legs as we can get, man, as many platforms. You know what I mean? So I'm just out here, just doing my part, man. Make sure we highlight these amazing, talented artists in the space. And kind of relay the message to Web 2 as well. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people, they don't even know this exists. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
that's why, that's why we got to do this, put y'all on Front Street so everybody can see y'all. But Bad Fox 4042, you got any shout outs before we get out of here, my guy?
Yeah, of course, man. Shout out Dizzle. Dizzle pulled up. Ellie, shout out Ellie, man, to Ellie. You know, both artists on the Come Proper joint, so definitely gotta shout them out. Shout out all my people in the space. Too many people to name, that's that. So I'm just say big up everybody. You know who you are. And yeah, man, we checking out. Beast on Air. It's been real.
Word. You know the vibes. But yeah, man. Shout out everybody. Appreciate y'all showing up to the show. Shout out Lord P. Lord P said 200, 100. Oh, okay. I think you're talking about the Living album. He said the Living album is still live on DMU. Yes, sir. Still live on DMU. However, the price went up. It's now 200 ADA. But if you own a DMU Classic, you do get it for 125 ADA, Lord P. So that's the alpha, man. That's the alpha. And that is the Founders Edition too, as well. You know what I mean? You got some perks coming with it, for the Founders Edition. So that's how we rocking with that. Also, you can get straight to that link as well if you go to awesomeazelle.com. It's on the front page if you wanted to do it like that too as well. But look, shout out to everybody tuning in to the show. We really appreciate y'all. And thanks to my guests. Thanks to my guests, Fondu and 4042. Shout out Lord P again. I gotta answer his question. He said classy. Oh, classic. It should be called DMU Classics. Classic on the website. If you go to DMU site, you can see it. It should say classic, DMU Classic. You pick that up and then you get discounts on everything on the store. That's the new model they wanted to go with. So that's how we rocking. But yo, shout out to everybody who tuned in. And yo, this your boy Awesome is JL, aka the biggest music artist in the metaverse. And we are signing off.
Yeah, her.